Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
Welcome today. I'm Richard Faust, your host today for Inside Cottonwood. I'm Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And introductions today, I'd like to introduce two individuals who work consistently and steadfastly in our community and provide incredible service to people all throughout our Verde Valley area in Cottonwood. And so I'd like to introduce Krys Vogler, and she's with the Toys for Tots program. Krys, welcome today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us today to talk about Toys for Tots. And we also have Captain Troy Hoke with the Cottonwood Fire Department. And Troy, welcome today also. I deeply appreciate your time because I think today's your day off.
Yes,
and
sir.
so you've just stepped in like you always do for us, and I deeply appreciate that. That's a big help for us. But as we get into the season, and again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, but the season is the season of giving. And that's pretty much what Americans do, and that's what we do here in Cottonwood. And I think we do an incredible job of actually being a driving force in our community, especially with people such as Krys and Keith Vogler and what they do for Toys for Tots, but also the Cottonwood Fire Department really comes out and shines as well, and it's just really kind of a neat thing. And so I think what I do is I've got some questions for you guys on, actually the actual program of Toys for Tots, the inception of it, as well as how it came to be and where it's going, where it's headed. So I think that's what I'm going to do is start out here, Krys, with you and kind of ask you, can you tell me the dates and times of our program this year for 2013?
The things going on?
Well, just the actual date of the event at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
It'll be December 20th from 1:30 to 3:30.
So it'll be at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
Correct.
And this is how many years now that it's been?
This is going on the 4th year.
The 4th year. Oh, that's amazing. I look back at the Cottonwood Recreation Center. It seems like we just built it last year. I guess that's where time flies when you're having fun. But it is one of those things where we utilize the Cottonwood Recreation Center for these purposes, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to serve the community that way, to have kind of an open house for people. And one of the things we'll be also having is as we move forward into the holiday season is we'll be having Santa there at the Recreation Center, and it'll be kind of a fun time because he'll be there several times throughout the season, so it'll be a lot of fun. Krys, can you give us a historical review on Toys for Tots and how it came to be?
Well, back in 1947, a Marine reservist's wife was making a Raggedy Ann doll, and she gave it to her husband to take to an organization to give to a less fortunate child. He returned home and said, I can't find an organization that does this. And that was the beginning of how Toys for Tots came to be. The Marines in Los Angeles got together, and every year they were supplying and giving toys out to the less fortunate children. And it just sort of carried on to where it is today. Today we're in 50 states. We have 736 sites around. We're in Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. We're all over, wherever the United States territory happens to be. I was elected or chosen as the 2011 Toys for Tots of the Year coordinator, which I was overwhelmed at receiving notice that I won that title. So I'm hoping to live up to it and keep it going. But that's basically how we started.
Well, congratulations, because I think that's a unique opportunity for you. But again, it seems like big shoes, but you've done so much here in Cottonwood, and we've seen so much of an operation of grandiose scale here, even in Cottonwood, and Verde Valley, of what you guys do. So I'm glad that you've stepped forward in that position, in that post. So this actually was developed in the context of the Marine Corps Service Organization and what they started out, and so it's just continued to perpetuate itself. And so it's growing from year to year as we see this transpire and happen.
Correct.
And so that's really kind of neat. So we touch a lot of lives through Toys for Tots. And can you tell me last year how many children were affected or families were affected by Toys for Tots here in the Verde Valley?
We keep statistics each year. We had roughly 1,800 plus children that we provided toys for. This year we're expecting quite a lot more because of the job situation and the economic situation.
Well, that's true. That definitely has a bearing on everything, and especially people's giving this time of year also. It's one of those where if people have the means and availability, there are more needy families out there this year. And so if you can step forward, it is one of those things we would deeply appreciate and value, and you will too. Now, as we look at this being coming up on the 4th year as the Recreation Center hosting the event, we open up the large gymnasium in the back. It's a double wide. And I've been back there, and it's just incredible how it's all set up, even by the fire department, because the fire department comes in and they assist and help, and they bring everything in the morning of, and you guys are there. But my goodness sakes, there's a lot of people that are coming in and out, and it's not that it's crazy, it's just, it's very, very well done, very well organized, and people are maneuvered through the event. The children have a wonderful time, and I know the mayor has a wonderful time, the vice mayor has a wonderful time, everybody is enjoying themselves. And again, it's just that particular time of the year as well that gives satisfaction to individuals as they support and help. And so that's great. I was wondering, Krys, if you can go over the partnering agencies and organizations for us and tell us who they are.
Well, the Cottonwood Rec Center, I would say it has been one of our biggest supporters, I would say, allowing us to have our toys parties in that facility. We used to have one party, and we would invite all of the Verde Valley, and we outgrew that, obviously. So we had to start doing 2 parties. And I, thank goodness, the mayor's on Facebook. That's how we connected. I just asked her what the possibility would be, and she transferred me over to you, and that's how that came to be. Our other big supporter, which is without the Cottonwood Fire Department,
that's right,
I don't think we would be able to do what we do. I can remember one Monday night specifically at 9 o'clock, I got a phone call from a trucker that wanted to unload 25,000 books at our storage unit. Well, we had no way to get all of these volunteers together to get over there and help unload that truck. So I made one phone call to Mr. Captain Hoke here.
Right.
He took care of it. He got his men out there. I don't know how he did it because Monday night's a football night, but they were there, and we unloaded that truck. And it's not the first time. I can call him at any time, and he's always willing to, it seems like, drop everything to come over there and help us.
I think that's the fire department. I think the Cottonwood Fire Department is well known for that. Even in circumstances where we have issues or we have things that go on, we place a call and they're there, or just to help, in any way, shape, or form. And it's last minute sometimes, and those guys are always there to respond, and not just for fires, but they're there, and that's what really drives a community in that context also as community service. They just are really great, and Captain Hoke, just continue to pass that on to your crew. They are just an incredible group of guys, and tell the Chief thank you too.
Thank you.
I have two more.
Yes, go ahead.
Larry Green Chevrolet.
All right.
Without them, they provide a vehicle for our golf tournament every year, and they provide as many vans, cargo vans, or vehicles that we need during the year to haul the toys up when I go on a buying spree. They've been terrific in providing that. And Cottonwood Storage, they let us use as many lockers as we need for these 3 months that we collect toys and we do our sorting and so forth for free. We don't have to pay them anything. And so I can't say enough about those organizations as well. Right,
so hats off to Cottonwood Storage as well as Larry Green, so we thank them also. And as we take this break now, I just want to, I'll be getting in a little bit more deeper with Captain Hoke here and the fire department just after this break we take. Again, welcome to Inside Cottonwood. We'll be back in just a moment.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And with me today are Krys Vogler of Toys for Tots and Captain Troy Hoke of the Cottonwood Fire Department. And Troy, I think just leading right into the fire department as we talk about the fire department and things that they do within the community, can you tell us how long that you've been involved in the Toys for Tots program?
It was in 2004 when I received the question of if we could have apparatus show up to a toy drive, and I took the ladder truck down there, and ever since then I saw how great that the organization was. And I mean, it's the happiest time of year to actually see happy kids, and to be part of it was great. So from that point forward, my wife and I have been involved in Toys for Tots and just been loving every minute of it. And the fire department's been very supportive in that role. And I mean, I go to ask the chief, hey, I got this going on with Toys for Tots, and it's what can we do to help and assist? So that's just kind of our motto with anything. So
that's great. So now, what does your wife do involving this too?
She usually assists with the registrations, helping signing people up for the Toys for Tots, and she goes down every year with Krys to Phoenix to purchase a bunch of toys and stuff to get prepared. So
that's awesome. And so what exactly does the fire department do during this program event? Well, I mean, lead us into this, because I know there's a scenario here that goes back. I mean, it's just not that you just drop everything at the last minute. There's a lot of preparation that goes into this, correct?
Yes. Usually Krys will give me a call and say, hey, I'm going to have some bikes for you. Every year we put together bikes, approximately about 20 bikes a year that we'll go and assemble for the kids to be given out during the parties. And at the same time, we help with moving the toys from one storage unit to another as we prepare, because right now they're separated into like appropriate ages. So we'll go over there and we'll help bag up the toys and get everything prepared for the parties, and then help with the moving of the stuff. You know, we kind of are the the muscle for the day for the ladies there and stuff. So that's a lot of the busy work behind the scenes that we do as far as getting ready for the parties and making sure that all the bags are put together appropriately. That's
interesting. You know, we already have at the Cottonwood Recreation Center in the administrative wing of the center, there's already a bike there. I think it's been there for about a week, and it's a nice looking bike, and I see it every time. It makes me smile as I walk through the door. But and it reminds me of what you guys do, putting the bicycles together, because I, as a dad, know what it's like putting together bicycles on Christmas Eve or, you know, whatever time it is, because you really can't have it somewhere. It's got to be usually Christmas Eve night in order, you know, that you're putting them together. But when you're putting together 20 bikes and stuff, that's a lot of time and effort that's being put in. And so your crew does quite a bit as the lead up to this, so it's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you.
And so can you tell me also, does the fire department have a kind of a lead-in assignment with a jolly old elf to this program, meaning Santa?
Yeah, every year Santa will go ahead and pay a visit to the fire station before he heads over to the rec center, and then we go ahead and leave the reindeer and the sleigh back at the station, and we go ahead and give them a ride over to the rec center in the fire truck, and you know, we let them go ahead and turn on the lights and blow the sirens. So
usually in my office I hear them coming, and because the siren's going, and so I know Santa's there, so I have to come out and watch and take pictures. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great time. Kids love it, and adults love it too.
Yeah, you know, kids usually like the big red truck, and they like Santa Claus.
That's
so
exactly
it's two
right.
things that they like.
All righty. Troy, tell us a little bit more. What other projects does the Cottonwood Fire Department get involved with in our community?
We're always looking to help out in everything. You know, Thanksgiving, we go ahead and help out. Every year they do the turkey drive, where we actually have the ladder truck, and they'll climb up the ladder for every turkey. Salvation Army, we're doing stuff with that. Anything and everything out there. I mean, if somebody's got something and they need to find out where they can get volunteers for, the fire department's got a bunch of great people that work for them that definitely want to help out in the community. So.
Right. Now, with the turkey drive, when is that going to be?
You know, I don't know right off the top of my head, but it's coming up soon, I believe.
It is. It's coming up very soon, and I know that I think it was this Saturday, if I remember right. So if you need additional information on the turkey drive, especially providing turkeys, and it will be over at, I think, is it Fry's parking lot area? That I'm not sure either.
Fry's or Safeway.
Okay. And you can check around, or you can go on the actual Facebook site for cottonwoodaz.com and check in with the City of Cottonwood site, because it will be there also. Now, I know also the fire department recently did a grand opening ceremony, and with that they did a fundraiser for Homes for Our Troops, which was also for Sergeant Jordan Maynard and for his home here in the Verde Valley, as he is a wounded veteran, a Marine coming home, and so it's always enjoyable to be able to be involved in that. I know we do also as the Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Department. My employees also get incredibly involved in this, and I think we raised around $7,000 just recently at both Thunder Valley Rally and then Rhythm and Ribs on guitars. And so these things that we do in the community, you know, support the military, but I also know that the military will be, you know, as they support this also, we should have Marines there too that are usually in their dress blues, and they look really sharp that day too. So just as I guess an additional now, during the Christmas season and the holidays, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this question, because again, this time of the year, there seems to be fires associated with various different things people do or don't do, and especially over the holidays. Are there specific things that people should be doing in and around their houses to be safe?
The biggest thing is the Christmas tree. If you're going to have a real Christmas tree, make sure that you take precautions with it. Just make sure that that's definitely a extreme fire hazard, and if you are going to have one, make sure you have good clearance around it. You know, don't have your couches up against all that. But as soon as it starts dying, make sure you get it out and don't leave it in the house. That's the biggest thing. And with cooking, if you're going to deep fry your turkey, definitely watch out for that. Grease fires are extremely dangerous. So.
Good. Well, that's good advice, so I appreciate that. And we always need to get that word out. And we're going to go ahead and take one other break here. We'll be back in just a moment to welcome you back to Inside Cottonwood.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood, and we're again talking to Captain Troy Hoke with the Cottonwood Fire Department, and then also Krys Vogler with Toys for Tots program. We're going to conclude our session today on Toys for Tots with Krys. And Krys, when we look at the massive undertaking of this program, it's a huge endeavor, requires a huge team effort. And can you give us an idea of the sacrifice that's involved, the volunteer agencies and people that are involved here? How many people are actually involved in this?
Well, we have seven people, including Troy and his wife, that are really streamlining this process. And we have over 30 volunteers that come forward for our different events if we need help with the golf tournament, the Christmas parties, and bagging and sorting toys. So we started with like 4 people.
Wow.
They were 4 golfers that I knew. And when I first started doing this, we were just like handing the toys out to agencies kind of thing, and they wanted to have the parties and see the smiles on the children's faces when they got a new toy and stuff. So that's how that started.
So, but it is a huge undertaking, and that's a lot of time and effort on the behalf of these people, and it's quite a team effort, so I applaud you very much so on all of that. Now, are there other fundraising events that support Toys for Tots? We
have 2 main ones, and our golf tournament every year is the one that provides the money that we need to purchase toys that we don't always receive in the toy boxes, and it supplements. And then our other fundraiser is the annual toy drive at Walmart, and that's December 1st. And we gather the toys there. Okay. And so Walmart is one of those toy gathering locations. Are there other site locations throughout the Verde Valley? We have boxes throughout the Verde Valley at different businesses. All the fire departments have a box. The Cottonwood Superstorage obviously has a box because they're right handy for us to get the toys from them. And then the banks, there's locations in Camp Verde and Rimrock, and they have their signs up. And if they go on our website, they'll be able to see the total list of all the boxes. That's great. Well, I know that even I saw the paper last night, and I saw the CATS program, that CATS is also one of the receiving end, and I know the rec center also, you can bring toys down there. And as we get into that, are there specific types of toys that people can donate? Well, right now we have quite a few for the 0 to 3-year-olds. We're looking for the toys from say 4 up to 12. Those seem to be the ones that cost a little more, and those are the ones we're sort of short in. But we're not going to turn anything away. Right. So if you want to drop off a Barbie doll or Hot Wheels, you just go for it. And now that they just need to be unwrapped, and you bring them in the box or whatever, and you can then just drop those off at any of the drop sites. Correct. Okay, that's awesome. Now, as we look at this, how can someone become a drop site in the future? Is there something they have to go through? Well, on the website, there is a place that they can click on Toy Box, And if you would like to be a toy box recipient, you just fill out that form. It automatically, I get an email stating that this company wants a toy box. I make a phone call, get the information, and then we get one to you right away.
Okay, now on the screen right now is the www.cottonwood-az.toysfortots.org, and they can go on there. Now, let me ask you this, since we're on that subject in a way here, we'll kind of move over to this one, is what do families do in order to register for the program?
Well, you can also go on the same website and you'll see toy request. If you click on that, it'll bring down, it'll say private toy family request.
Good.
And then they click on that, they fill out their form, I get the email, and then they'll be contacted.
So they'd be contacted then after they register then?
Yes.
All right.
And then we're also having our sign-ups at the Cottonwood Rec Center this Saturday from 11 to 2.
All right, so 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock this Saturday. At the Cottonwood
And there'll
Rec
be
Center.
signs directing you where to go.
And then they're also told and instructed then what they're supposed to be doing then the day of the event then, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so that is a big help because it's very user-friendly on the actual web page, but then it's also user-friendly in the context of you're being instructed on where to go and what you need to do in order for your child or whatever. So for families, it works out great for moms and dads. So, so people can get more information directly at that web page and the website. Krys, and final, can you tell us a bit more about your husband, Keith? And I enjoy Keith very much so because he's really one of those guys who he steps forward in so many circumstances, and he's there, and I've enjoyed just talking with him in the past. And he's a member of the Marine Corps Reserve, and so what's his job involving in Toys for Tots?
Well, we have a Marine Corps League here in the Verde Valley, and he's been our commandant on and off for, well, he was responsible for its inception, actually. He was the first one that got involved with Toys for Tots up in Flagstaff, and then I came on board just to help out with the toys, boxing and wrapping and things. We came down here to Cottonwood. We saw that there was a big need. There was no league. There was no reserve unit within 50 miles. And so I just submitted an application to become a reserve site, got approved, and without him, he's as valuable to me as I almost consider Troy my second husband here, because without him and his support, and every year we have arguments, so how much longer are you going to do this? Because it is such a big undertaking, and it is. It's like you put your whole life on hold for these 4 months. I just can't say enough about Keith.
Right, and that's why I wanted to mention him too, because you know, he's just an incredible individual, and with that, I want to thank you both for the opportunity to bring forth Toys for Tots and identify who you are within our community, as well as Keith, and then the different volunteers and your wife and Troy and everybody that helps and assists, and congratulations on this also being the 4th year at the Recreation Center, but the continued aspect of community service in this way, it really helps families in need. So thank you very much for what you do within our community, as it's very, very valuable. And with that, we're going to go ahead and conclude for today for Inside Cottonwood. Thank you for joining us, and if you have any questions as it pertains to Toys for Tots, please go onto the website and enjoy again the holidays, be safe, and have a very happy holiday season. Thank you again for joining us for Inside Cottonwood. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood.